Thank you, Ken Corley. Minister, my colleagues Barry Cavan and Pat Casey have been front and centre in the housing crisis and have put forward some key priorities from a Fianna Fáil perspective. We put forward numerous bills, such as vacant housing bill and many more, to get to grips with the crisis, and we've successfully pressed for further investment in social housing as well. The Taoiseach has claimed that homelessness is not a rising issue and that it is low by international standards. Well, I'd like to state that's simply untrue and misleading. The most recent figures show a total of over 8,000 people homeless in Ireland and at a record high. Nationally, there are over 5,000 adults, 3,000 children homeless, and this is a clear example of a government that has focused on spin over substance to date and downplaying the prevailing crisis. The change that is proposed will create a larger burden on property owners to prove that minor development is required. Currently, there are over 100,000 people on social housing waiting lists. Despite this high number, only 658 social houses were built last year. In addition to this, rents have soared to over 32% above the previous 2008 peak. This means that Dublin city dwellers are spending as much as 55% on their take-home pay on rent alone. The high house prices, combined with the central bank's restrictive rules, have meant that home ownership levels have reduced to a record low of 69% across the country. And this is due largely to the fact that this government has scrapped the affordable housing scheme in 2011 and never re-established it. Even though you've launched your housing plan several times, you've never built a single unit in a number of counties. You've also deliberately removed local authorities' roles and slashed the Part 5 to 10%. This restrictive policy has meant that the state is well behind. To put the numbers into perspective, in 2007 to 2010, Fianna Fáil built over 14,000 social houses. This is on average over 3,500 per year and 117 homes per local authority per year. The record high for Fine Gael is between 2011 to 2016, they built 3,050, an average 508 houses per year and only 16 per local authority per year. The approach that Fianna Fáil would take is different in that it will focus on the home first. We will focus on new units on wraparound service. We would believe that the HAP recipients should not be removed from the social housing list. In order to make homes more affordable, we would establish a new affordable home purchase scheme on state lands, as well as establish a affordable house rent scheme on state lands. I conclude, Minister, by saying that on a number of occasions, and when we talk about homelessness and the housing crisis here in Ireland, I firmly accept a lot of what has been said here today, but I do think there is a perception there that this is only affecting the larger urban areas. And I would have to say to you, Minister, that even in rural constituencies like mine in Cavan and Monaghan, people are on a social housing waiting list 3 and 4 years. And my own local authority do not seem to have the capacity or the wherewithal to build the types of developments that are needed when it comes to social housing. We have generations of families and married couples living with their parents because they cannot get on the property ladder and own their own home. So, Minister, I would ask you to also, in your endeavours to address this crisis, to also recognise the fact it's not purely for urban cities that there is an issue there. There is also an issue in our rural areas, and particularly when it comes to council housing. Thank you, Minister.
Thank you, Deputy Smith. Deputy Declan Brennan.